the Santa Barbara Navy League TV. We hope that you'll be able to sit back and enjoy the coming show that is going to feature the men and women of the USS Stockdale, the newest ship to be commissioned in the United States Navy. Co-hosted by the Santa Barbara Navy League at Naval Base Ventura County.
The United States Navy will commission our newest U.S. warship at Naval Base Ventura County. And that base, earlier led by Captain Rick Connors, now retired, and new commander Jim McCuff, was prominent in their support to bring it all together. And it's been a great privilege and honor to work with the crew down in Ventura and with Captain Fred Kesher, Stockdale's commanding officer, and his outstanding crew throughout this year. It is Santa Barbara's consul honor to announce this evening that we have formally adopted the USS Stockdale, and we're looking forward to a long and mutually beneficial association with Stockdale as she enters the active service in the United States Navy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce to you the Stockdale's first commanding officer, Commander Fred Kirshner, United States Navy.
Good evening. My name is Fred Kacher. Richard's been a wonderful commissioning chairman, and that name is pretty close, and sometimes our names are a little tough to say. But if you're in the military and you're sensitive about having your name mispronounced, you're in the wrong outfit. I've got some friends here from Maine, and so I got to be careful with what I say here. But after leaving Bath, Maine, February 6th, when it was 2 below zero, all I can say is it's great to be in Southern California. Everyone, thank you for your forbearance as I share a small moment with Mrs. Stockdale. This clock we proudly present on behalf of the officers and crew of USS Stockdale to our sponsor, Mrs. Sybil Stockdale, a hero in her own right. A little bit about the clock. The clock is manufactured by Weems & Plath, a well-known navigation supply and maritime company based in Annapolis, so obviously that had great ties for our family as well as your family. And Weems & Plath manufactures not only these beautiful clocks, but the navigational tools that midshipmen have trained on and learned from the time when the Admiral was a midshipman all the way up to the class of 1990. And I believe, based on talking to my recent graduates from the class of 2008, that they're still supporting that endeavor. And that ties all of us together. And we're very, very proud to present this to you. You've been a wonderful sponsor. We couldn't have asked for a better family and a better man to share a name with, and we're deeply honored. To give you a sense of what kind of family we are privileged to deal with, the Stockdale family has in turn presented a gift to the crew, and they have prepared some wonderful dog tags that each one of our crew members will be able to wear and keep. And on the dog tags reads, "Return with honor," our ship's motto. Those are the words that guided the POWs. Those are the words that every sailor hopes to live by when they go over the horizon. The words that guide our ship when it's our and our country. We very much appreciate the gift. And that just goes to show you what a wonderful group of people we have in the Stockdale family. So we're very pleased. I'd ask you all to once again salute Mrs. Stockdale and the 4 sons. We're now going to give an opportunity for the Stockdale sons to come and make some reflections on their dad's legacy. I have to tell you, one of the great joys of being a first CO, obviously we hit the lottery. Incredible namesake, brand new, beautifully built ship, stationed in the greatest home port the Navy's got. Hard not to have a smile on your face about that. But what's also been a privilege has been getting to know this great American family. We've gotten to have contact with each of the 4 sons through email. We've had Dr. Jim Stockdale come to visit us. Taylor and his wonderful family actually transited through the Panama Canal with us, and many quality interactions with Sid and Stan as well. So what I would like to do is first ask, we'll reverse order this time, to have the youngest Stockdale son come and join us first. And Taylor, if you could join us, we'd love to hear from you tonight. Everyone, Taylor Stockdale.
Thank you so much. It's such an overwhelming experience to be here tonight. And as Commander Kacher mentioned, my family and I were fortunate enough to be able to go down to Panama and embark on the Stockdale and go through the canal. And we knew it was going to be an amazing ship, and it really was pretty overwhelming to see the technology and the latest Navy engineering and whatnot. But what we were most struck by was the crew of the USS Stockdale, and just the sense of teamwork and dedication, not only to the ship, but to the man. And really they had a real sense of pride that they were serving on this amazing ship. And so what I found was that this legacy that my dad has, my dad was proud of so many things, and he had reason to be proud of so many things, but he was most proud of how he inspired the people around him to be better. And whether it was the POWs, or the Medal of Honor people, or the fighter pilots, or test pilots, or his own family, my father was most proud of inspiring those around him to be better. And what I felt like on that ship is a continuation of that legacy. That ship is doing what my dad did so well, and he's inspiring really fine men and women to be even better. And that was the kind of the ultimate feeling of gratitude that I had on the ship going through the Panama Canal. And it wasn't by chance. I think that one of the things that also struck me is that Commander Kacher has done so much, and Lieutenant Commander Bryan and Master Chief Dowie have done so much to really weave my father's soul into the ship. And you can feel him when you are aboard. And everything from the call letters, NJBS, to the fact that my father's portrait is literally above the state's room for briefings, to the commissioning and the christening and how carefully that's been planned, to the seal of the USS Stockdale, and what a beautiful seal that is, and how it represents so many of the values that my father believed in. Everything has been so thoughtfully done to weave my father's soul into that ship, and you can feel it when you speak to this amazing crew of the USS Stockdale. So I thank you so much for that. Other brothers have given the Stockdale a few great photographs, their favorite photographs that are on the ship currently. And I'd like to give him my favorite now. And I think that this photograph, the reason I like it so much is that I think it really demonstrates my father's dual roles as both a warrior and a philosopher. So I have this to give to you. It's my favorite photograph of my father. And I know that Commander Kacher and his crew has been busy, and I know he's in the state of California now. It's a very litigious state. So while he's been busy transporting the ship from Maine to California, I went down to the DMV and I actually registered the ship so that it's legal. I don't want you to know, the flight just came today, so the flight here.
Thank you, Taylor. We're going to get a couple of screws and put this right on the stern. Stan, would you like to come up looking for you, make a few comments?
Thank you, Fred. And I had no idea I was going to be up here saying this, so kind of winging it. But I just want to thank everybody that is here tonight and putting all this together. It's a huge team effort. Everybody from the officers and crew of the ship to the commissioning committee to the christening committee to all of the builders that were presenting here tonight. It is, as Taylor said, it's quite overwhelming. One thing, I don't know if I've told you, Fred, I work at a school down near San Diego. The football team came to me and said, could we wear, it's called Army and Navy Academy, so it's a military school. And they wear a patch for their away games. And they said, could we wear USS Stockdale on our jerseys for home games? And they do, and this was the first season, and they won the league for the first time in 20 years. So we're gonna, in addition to your Padres tickets that you received tonight, we'll send a few rare, precious Army Navy tickets your way. Thank you all very much. It's really a proud moment for our family. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Stan, for those kind words. And I believe we have Sid making his way up here for his observations.
Thank you very much, Fred. Like Stan, like Jim, we're all a little bit surprised that we're being called to the podium. But nonetheless, it's a wonderful opportunity to perhaps reflect on an important moment with Dad looking down and all these great supportive friends of his here in the room, capturing the moment. I was struck when I heard the date, April 18th, perhaps some of you were. It's Paul Revere's ride. I teach history. But nonetheless, it was meaningful to me, and I thought somehow that it was right, and it's going to have legs. So thank you very much, all of you.
Dr. Jim Stockdale will join us here.
I took the time to get prepared during dinner. When I look around rooms like this one, I see the eyes of several who have known us and supported us for a long, long time. When I was honored to come and speak to the crew last June, I tried to help them understand that there was a time when no one was no one, when there was no conspicuousness of gallantry or honor, when the four of us just knew our khaki-clad dad, and on occasion he'd take us over to O&R while he instructed the chiefs on the maintenance of airplanes. We stand on the shoulders of many, and the message for the men was not admire him, not know him, realize that he is in you, and that he at one point was much more like you than like the picture overlooking the table. There have been times when all of us have been aware that we may have on occasions overburdened ourselves with the recognition for the work and honor that belongs to many. And owing to Dad's scholarship, I'll end with the words of Thomas Carlyle. Our true past departs us not, for neither truth nor goodness realized in our youth, our shaping, or our innocence ever dies. It is ever there and, recognized or not, lives on and works through us in our present, our changes, and our future. It's an honor for our family to be here tonight. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate your loyalty, kindness, and care. Good night.
We have another wonderful community. We've had the prisoner of war community. We have the folks who served alongside Admiral Stockdale as aviators. And we have seen alluded to some of the most courageous folks that we have in our military history, those who were Medal of Honor recipients. So joining us tonight, and I know it's hard because some folks are already standing, are Captain Hudner, who we saw, and I'd ask you to stand, sir, if you wouldn't mind one more time. Mr. Thornton and Mr. Norris, I would ask that you all stand. We're really in the presence of genuine heroes.
It's my pleasure to be here to represent all of the men and women who have served in our great Navy, continue to serve today, and will serve in the future. We have put together a relationship with the United States Naval Academy class of 47, which was Admiral Stockdale's class, and it's also the class that has been extremely successful and contributed so much to our nation. And one of the things that we believe at the United States Navy Memorial in Washington, D.C., is that service to country needs to continue from one generation to the next. And I'd like to ask two of the representatives of the class of 47 to join me as we give to the commander and all of his crew the Lone Sailor, which is the representation and the icon that represents every individual, man and woman, who has served in our great Navy. Admiral Turner, Captain Tom Hudner, would you join me here at the Lone Sailor, and Fred, if we can go over here. As many of you know, Admiral Turner served our nation in a very distinguished way, finished up his career as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency. Captain Hudner served in many, many aspects of our military and is a Medal of Honor recipient for his contributions during the war in Korea. He is the president of the class of 47. For those of you who appreciate that continuum of service, this plaque that we're giving to the crew of the Stockdale represents the fact that when you serve, you look back on those that preceded you and you draw on your traditions and spirit and responsibility, because men and women who have served in our great Navy have led the way to tell you what service is all about. This plaque represents, with the chain, the class of 47 carried forward to the USS Stockdale. We can't pick this Lone Sailor up because we don't want to hurt anybody, but it will serve with pride and sail with you on Stockdale, and we look forward to having great things happen with this crew. And I'd like to give Captain Hudner an opportunity to represent the class of 47.
I can't tell you how proud I am to be here representing the class of 47. We graduated in 1946, actually, just after World War II was over. And we were not quite sure, since there was war that we had been educated to fight was over, what would we do? I think there are a lot of people here who are very proud of Jim Stockdale. And my pride in the fact that I met Jim in the summer of 1943, right in the middle of World War II, and I could see at that time what a leader he was. We played football together, JV football, and we formed a very solid relationship at that time. Although our careers after that, in spite of the fact I was an aviator, he was an aviator, we never served together. But I can't imagine anything more appropriate to have on board USS Stockdale this lone sailor statue that is going to remind the people who are on that ship, the men and the women, what a great person that they have to emulate. And I couldn't be more proud as president of the class of 1947, which Jim was a couple of decades ago, and an extremely effective one. So I want to thank the Navy Memorial through Admiral Buchanan's leadership for making this lone sailor statue available for all the men and the women of the ship to be able to see every day and know what a heritage that they have before them. And thank you very much, Admiral.
We are honored to accept the Lone Sailor. We're deeply appreciative for your support. We salute the great class of 1947, and I will share that with every classmate that we meet and every friend of Admiral Stockdale who was touched by him when he walked this earth, it makes us feel closer to our namesake. So we are thrilled to accept this gift, and thank you for all that you've done for our ship.
Representing Bath Iron Works, Mr. Scott Kay, manager of the DDG-51 program.
Good evening. I've had the pleasure a couple times before to represent our company at these occasions, and one thing I've had to do when I come up here is remind people that the applause that was given isn't really adequate for the shipbuilder that pulled all this together. So I'll give you another chance. I stand here representing the 5,700 men and women of Bath Iron Works, and I present to you 3 gifts also, traditional gifts. The first, this is the artwork that was done for the christening book cover when the ship was christened in 2008. A few years back, we started a little tradition here of presenting the ship with the spare christening bottle. We always keep one in backup, and we've been fortunate that the first one always seems to work. So this is, I feel, a nice gift to present the ship that they can put on display in a cabinet. I did say 3 gifts. The third one is sitting pierside in Port Wayne.
Next, I would like to invite the folks from Lockheed Martin, specifically Mr. Orlando Carvalho, to come up here. Mr. Carvalho is the Vice President and General Manager of Lockheed Martin Maritime Systems and Sensors, Surface and Sea-Based Defense Systems.
Commander, our 3 traditional gifts that we have, if I can have the first one here. From the friends and family here of Lockheed Martin, we have ship barometer that always reads fair winds and good weather ahead as you sail the oceans of the world.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
And this is a painting that is commissioned by Lockheed Martin with an artist named Tom Friedman. It's a painting that actually complements the painting that Peter Sue does that was just presented. And we have a plaque that we asked the commander to put near that equipment just so that the crew remembers the infinite resources that Lockheed Martin has. And it says, to the men and women of the USS Stockdale, from the men and women of Lockheed Martin, at Lockheed Martin we never forget who we're working for. Just as you, our brave sailors, are committed to your mission, the men and women of Lockheed Martin are committed to you. Our thoughts are with you. Thank you very much.
Computer Sciences Corporation, Mr. Tim Caswell, come forward, please.
For those of you who don't know, CSC turned 50 years old yesterday. our traditional gift, the ship's clock. And sir, with this, we've joined your team, especially with all that digital equipment we've got. We'll settle on the karaoke machine, give us a call.
I think all the wonderful presentations you've seen here is really a testament of the affection and support that this ship receives. And we recognize that that's not because we're intrinsically wonderful folks. It's really a tribute to Admiral Stockdale's legacy and the commitment to serve and support that every one of you from all the various industry figures, as well as some of our civilian counterparts, and of course our great fleet leadership as well, represented by Admiral Guillory in the front table there. We're very, very much appreciative. Our ship has been given a very precious gift. Admiral Stockdale's legacy of service and sacrifice and the Stockdale family name. And we're very grateful for that. When we got underway from San Diego to head up to Ventura County for the commissioning, we actually got underway on my birthday, as a matter of fact. Thank you. And while, again, I got to be careful here, I would, of course, want to spend that time with my wife and two great little girls on the table there. In many ways, when I looked around that ship, we had Captain Charlie Plum, a hero in POW, giving our crew this great talk as we were on the one night overnight that we had as we were heading up the coast. I said, boy, there's probably not anywhere else I'd rather be. Now, I probably got a couple jailers in the back who would say only the captain's crazy enough to want to be underway on his birthday. But I would tell you, when you think about this ship and the great work that's gone into it, and the name that we share with just an incredible man, I really meant it, and I really felt it, and I'm very appreciative to be a part of this. And this will be the professional privilege of my lifetime to be the first commanding officer of this ship. And I thank you all for coming, and very much appreciate your patience as we again pay tribute to a genuine American hero and a wonderful family. Thank you for coming tonight. And
I see a lot of folks in uniform, the same uniform I used to wear. And I listen to this gentleman right here, and I think I want to give him some credit before he steps away by saying there's probably not one person in here that wouldn't be very, very proud to serve as a member of your crew. Thank you very much.
Well, it's no secret that Santa Barbara is one of the nicest cities the United States has, and it also happens to be one of the most popular ports in the Navy to come and visit. I've had some wonderful experiences with other ships. We've forged a real bond with the folks from Santa Barbara, both the Navy League and citizens who've opened their arms to our sailors during our trips up there, and we look forward to a long partnership in the future together. Thank you very much.
As one Secretary of the Navy said, the sun never sets on the Navy League.